Wherever you're joining us from, thank you for joining us for yet another wonderful session. My name is Joy Otieno. I'm a Google Digital Skills for Africa trainer. So use the chat button to tell us, where you're joining us from. Tell us, what you're looking forward to in today's session, and then I'll see if I can fulfill those expectations, right? So if you have friends who have not yet joined in, please tell them that we have already started. Tell them to hurry up and join us. So please introduce yourself. Tell us where you're joining us from. I can see Kate has joined us. So guys, please tell us so that we can recognize you, we can know where you're joining us from, and then we can continue. So I see Kate is joining us, arriving. Sarah Natulia Pandeza Kinangop. Okay, thank you guys. Valerie, minorities in the building without those. We have Otuchi. We have, if you know, eh? Okay. I hear you. So, guys, if you're coming in just now, please tell us where you're joining us from, and then we will continue from there. So today we are going to look at how to use data and insights to help your business grow. Our agenda, number one, I'm going to show you how to and understand how to ask the right question. And then we are going to look at how to identify the best tools that you can use. And then data is very important. People keep on saying data is the new oil. But for me, I say that data is the new crude oil. And data analysis is the process of refining it. Right? So data has become really, really big business. So it's important as a business that you understand how to apply it to any further. For those who have businesses, and all of us are business people in one way or another. So we have what we call entrepreneurs who can start businesses, and then you have intrapreneurs who can help those who start business to grow them. So if you're employed, you're a business person, only that you're contributing your talents. It's like you're trading your talents for a salary. That's the business that you're doing, right? So all of us, whether you are employed, whether you're self-employed, whether you're running your own business, we are employed in one way or another. So now, what words will you use to describe your customers? What words will you use to describe your customers? Will you say your customers are fashionistas, that they love fashion? Will you say your customers are people who live on a budget, families and other responsibilities? Will you say your customers are people who love convenience, so they will want probably delivery to their doorsteps or to their places of work? So if you're asked to describe your customers, what words Sorry, guys, we had a technical hiccup there, but we are back. If you can hear me, please confirm loud and clear. If you can hear me, please confirm in the chat button that you can hear me. We dropped there for a second because of some technical hitches, but we are now back. So if you can hear me, please just confirm. If you can hear me, please just confirm. Okay, so what words would you use to describe your customers? Because if you have a storefront, if you're doing door-to-door delivery, whatever kind of business that you're doing, right? Right? There's a way that you understand your customers. So what words would you use to describe your customer? Okay, so let's look and you will know the right questions to ask them, right? Because remember, you're in business because you're trying to help customers solve a problem, or you're trying them to achieve a need, So when you're in the business of giving customers what they need and what they want, then you really want to understand who they are, what are their pain points, what is it that they want to achieve, what goals do they have in mind, you understand? Then you'll be able to collect and understand how to ask them the right questions. Now, for example, if you today you had an opportunity to speak to your customers, what questions would you like to ask your customers? If today you had the opportunity to talk to your customers, what questions will you try to ask your customers? Because remember, we are living in very special times, especially in the post-COVID world. We have seen people have taken delivery. People have seen, okay, goods and services can be delivered to their doorsteps. We have seen people take up telemedicine, right? We have seen people take up e-commerce aggressively. People are buying, more and more people are buying and ordering stuff online from e-commerce platforms. So, especially when you're going into the post-COVID world, what questions would you want to ask your customers? What questions would you want to ask your customers? So, the whole process that I've taken you through, I'm just trying to help you understand the process of analytics, right? So, because the process of analytics is about, first of all, understanding your customers. Who are they? What are their pain points? Right? What are their pain points? What is it that they want to achieve? Right? From there, after you understand who your customer is, then you will know the right questions to ask them in terms of what you want to offer, what solutions do you want to bring on the table. And before you even suggest, and even before you suggest the solutions, right? When you frame your questions correctly, you are able to find insights. So you're able to find out the right questions to ask them in order to gain an insight in what exactly they want. You want to understand, what do you do with it? How can it help you in your business strategy, especially in the post-COVID world when a lot of things have changed, right? How can that information help you? And that's what we call the process of analytics. Remember, we are talking about how you can use data and insights to help your business grow. So number one, you want to find out what is your objective, right? So for example, now that we are walking into the new normal, probably you had a physical shop and you had to close it for 3 months during the lockdown, right? And now you're just opening up and you want to find out your customers, are they the same or something has changed? Do they require your services but in a different manner? So you want to set up your objective. So your objective, probably you want to ensure your existing customers come back, and you also want to ensure that you get more customers, or you want to increase brand awareness. So once you have established your objective, then you need to ask yourself, what questions do you need to address as you're walking into the new normal? What questions do you need to address? So, for example, delivery is on the rise. For example, e-commerce, people ordering for products, more and more buying stuff online. Remote work is on the rise, right? If you are supplying food to offices, how can you change now? How can you change your strategy now to fit the new normal? Once you have your right questions in check, probably you'll ask your customers, do they work remotely? Yes. Do they need food to be delivered to their homes? Yes. Or do they, because they're working from home, probably they don't want you to deliver cooked food. They want you to deliver cold servings. Cold serving is like, maybe if somebody wants pizza, they want to make it on their own, right? So maybe you deliver pizza dough and the other ingredients, or you deliver raw chicken so that they'll cook. So how do you understand the right questions to ask? And then once you know the questions that you need to ask, now you ask yourself, where do you get the information from? Because remember, if you have, let's say, like 1,000 customers, it may be very hard for you to make a phone call to each one of them, right? But as you want to maintain the same customers and also discover new customers, right? Now you want to ask yourself, where do you get that information from? If at all you cannot do questionnaires and get all the responses back, what is the easiest way that you can get this information in order to ensure that your business responds and keeps up with the changes? But once you've gotten the information about what needs to happen in order for your business to remain competitive, now the question is, what do you do with that information? How do you effect those changes into your business, but still not hurt your capital or hurt your stock or overstretch yourself? How do you make sure that you effect that information, or you action upon that information? So what is your objective? The process of analytics is, first of all, establish your objective. Yes, the lockdown, the corona pandemic has affected your business, but now that you're in the recovery process, you're opening up. What are you trying to achieve? What is your objective, right? Then, so your objective can be so many. Maybe you want to tell more people about your business has opened and is back in business. Maybe you want to sell more product because during the lockdown and during the pandemic you have not been able to sell and your sales have suffered. Maybe you want to identify the most valuable customers so that you really highly target those who will quickly convert and buy from you. So because the customer in the new normal post-COVID has increasingly gone online, the world has become digital. You want to discover new ways that you can engage your existing customers. Yes, they are not coming to your shop anymore. Yes, they are not walking to the physical shop that you have. But then, now that they are online, how can you find new ways to engage them, despite the fact that they may not be able to come to your physical shop? After you establish your objective, then now you look at what questions do you need to address, right? So if delivery is on the rise, how can you make sure you do deliveries? If people are working remotely, people are working at home, how do you make sure that you also respond to that need? If people are buying more and more online, how do you make sure that you position yourself? So how do you answer some of these key questions? And then the best way for you to discover how okay, guys, I'm having a network challenge. I don't know, the network is a bit unstable, but bear with me. Don't go anywhere. Lots of questions, right? When you're understanding the right questions. So guys, I'm back. I'm sorry there is a network problem. It's a bit unstable, but I hope you can hear me now. So types of to ask about your business. So number one, when you're asking the right questions, you want to understand reach. Who is your target audience and how do you reach them there? And when you're going online, you also want to understand how to engage them. How How are they finding what they need? What kind of content can you share with them so that they can respond to you? And then activate. How do you make sure that they help you achieve your goal? If you're going online in order to increase sales, in order to increase brand awareness, in order to reach new customer segments, how can you make sure that you activate them? And then finally, nurture. How do you make sure that they keep coming back? So those are the 4 key questions that you need to ask yourself while you're taking your business online. Reach. How will you reach customers, right? How will they come to your business? What kind of content inspires them, right? Activate. How do you ensure that they help you achieve your objective? And then number 3 is, now once you have the right questions in mind, you want to understand how will you reach the customers, how will you engage them, how will you activate them in order for them to buy, in order to follow you, in order to comment, and then how do you nurture that relationship? So now the question is, where do you get the information to answer these questions, right? So there are so many ways that you can gain the right information, especially when you are online. And if you are in our previous session, we talked about it. There is the social channels, there is organic search, there is your website, there is paid search. So with social media, you can just see, for those who have already Facebook pages or Twitter pages or Instagram pages for their businesses, you'll already see that sometimes when you share a particular kind of content, there is a way that your customers easily and quickly relate with you, right? You find when you share maybe video content, you get a lot of likes, you get a lot of comments, you get a lot of people sharing your content, right? So that's how you'll discover. And probably when you post during certain times, when you post very early at 8 a.m., you find that you don't get engagement. When you post during midday, maybe between 10 and 2 p.m., you find that you get good engagement. So that's the kind of information that you want to discover. And the other way is through organic search. Sorry, guys, a bit really unstable. I don't know why, but please just bear with us. Slide pretty haraka. Okay, I think I'm going to slow down a bit so that you can hear me a little better. If I'm going so fast, guys, please just tell me, just raise me up, and then I'm going to slow down. Okay. So you can get the right information from organic search. Organic search is simply just putting the products that you're selling, the products or service, right? So the product or service, and then you'll find information on your competitors, you'll find information on what customers prefer through related searches. And if you have a website, you can use organic search to find information on your competitors, Sorry, guys, I don't really know what is going on. It's coming to rain where I am at, and it's affecting the internet a little bit. So the internet is a little bit unstable, but I hope you can bear with us so that we can move on. I'm really, really sorry, guys. So your website is one of the places that you can you can start from in order to get the correct insight. So your website, and most of the time when a lot of businesses have website, they use website as a PR tool, as a public relations tool. But your website is able to give you great insight into your target audience. It is able to tell you who come visiting your website. It will able to tell you the performance of each web page on your website, right? And then you are able to act on it accordingly. And then the final and the most important step of analytics, of understanding how to use data and insight to help your business grow, is now actioning on it. It's now to try actioning in it. So what do you do with that information that you have gained, right? What now do you do that information? Jackie Momanyi tells me, can you try change your internet service provider? I'm actually using Wi-Fi, right? So I'm just trying to see if I can load data bundles on my phone directly, so that probably it would be a bit more stable. Okay, so where do you discover this information? And what do you do with it? The most important thing is for you to understand how you can use this data and insights to help your business grow. Number one is it can help you discover market trends. Because remember, it can help you discover market trends because you need to be in business through all seasons, because remember, businesses have season. Like right now we're in Christmas mood, right? And people are in the festive season and people are feeling festival. So how do you adapt to that when it comes to cold seasons, hot seasons, when it comes to school opening season, school closing season, when it comes to all those? How do you make sure that your business is in season all throughout? So it helps you identify the latest market trends and insights. The other thing, and the most important, is that you are able to discover user experience. How do customers interact with your how do customers interact with your brand? So you're able to understand your customers' path to purchase. Because remember, most of the time as business people, we always falsely think that a customer is the person that buys from you. But a customer is that person that you need to influence all their actions and all their activities. Because remember, buying is the final step in a customer's journey, and especially in an online customer. Because with an online customer, first of all, the online customer journey is they will see, they will think, they will consider, and then they will do. At do is when they decide to buy or not. So when you think about your online customer in that perspective, you not just think about a customer as a person who buys, right? So a customer is one person who, especially online, you must influence what they see. You must influence how they think. So they see the photos, they see the video, they see the content that you put out there, right? So you must influence what they see, first of all, because that's the only point you'll capture them from, what they see. After you have influenced what they see and it has interested them, they will look at the photo and start considering. If you're selling clothes and now it is Christmas, they're like, okay, will I look fashionable? Will I look smart in this clothes? Make sure you put a nice model who brings out that dress very well. After they have thought about it, then they will start considering, should I buy, should I not, will it fit me, is the material durable, will it fade, and then after they have considered, that's when they decide to buy. So you must be able to influence those first three steps: what they see, what they think, and how they consume, right? So you'll be able to understand your user experience. And then content marketing, in terms of identifying which type of content makes people engage the most with your brand, right? Maybe if you post a photo of a beautiful lady modeling a certain dress, maybe you get more engagement. Maybe if you post a photo, a YouTube or a video, you're able to get more content. And then the most important thing that insights and data helps you in your business is to be able to adapt your strategy. Because we say that the customer is always right. You may be wanting to conduct your business in a certain way, but you go online and you find that what customers require is totally different from what you are trying to give them. So let me pause at this point and take some questions. I can see so many questions coming in, fast and furious. Orono Paya says it's heavily raining in Kampala now. Yeah, there's a lot of rain. What frequency should I analyze my data? Drishti Prisha. So Drishti Prisha, how you should analyze your data, it depends. So on a weekly basis, and it depends on how many times you post, right? That's what will determine, or how many times you share content. That's what will determine how many times you need to analyze your data. So let's say, for example, if you are posting every week, if you're posting once every day, like in a week has 7 days. So it's very imperative that you analyze once every week. Like let's say on Sunday afternoon, you can sit down and go through your engagement and understand, okay, which content has brought in a lot of engagement. But if you're one who posts maybe once a week, maybe you are doing it once a week, then you can say you do analysis every month so that you have enough data. Yeah. So because the frequency of how you analyze your data and how you are people are engaging with your content depends on the frequency of how you post. uh, Mustafa says, looking at video or pictures, which one is the best content for selling men's shoes and car? Mustafa, both work, but if you ask me, the best one will be pictures, right? The best one will be pictures for men's shoes and caps, and make sure they are high quality pictures. For you to have high quality pictures, you don't need to take up a photo shoot and pay for it. All you need is a good smartphone and just some creativity around lighting and a set design. And videos also would work if you're trying to show people versatile ways in which they can rock maybe one shoe or one cap, right? But for men's shoes and caps, pictures would work, but make them to be very quality pictures. Okay, so I think, guys, we can continue at this point. So let's look at how okay, so let's look at identifying the best tools to use. So remember, the question was, where do you get? So you have discovered your objective, you have discovered the right questions, you have discovered the objective, you have discovered the right questions to ask, but now you're wondering what are some of the tools that you can use. There are various tools online, right, that you can use to analyze your data. So, but I would like to find out from people joining us, which analytics tools do you currently use? Which analytics tools do you currently use? So ask, which analytics tools do you currently use? There are so many that you can use, and I'd like, if you have maybe a phone and you can take a screenshot, you can take a screenshot at this point. So there are various tools that you can use to discover these trends and data and insights for your business. On social media, a lot of the social media like Twitter and Facebook have robust insights page. So if you have a Facebook business page, go to the insights page and you'll be able to see, you'll be able to show the kind of engagement that people are having. You'll even discover around the gender of the people that engage with your page. You'll be able to discover where they are based, their location, where they're coming from. You're able to discover a lot of characteristics around them, the education background, the gender. So Twitter and Facebook have very robust analytics features, right? But if you want an independent one, third party that will be able to put the data for you in a clean way, Hootsuite also works so well for you. And then with organic search, if you want to discover, so with organic search, if you want to discover trends around your business, if you want to discover keywords, if you want to discover competitors, what the competitors are doing, Google search and Google My Business will be able to help you. So Google Search Console, you just submit your website, your blog, or your social media, and they'll be able to give you to understand what is happening with organic search. And then your website, you link it to Google Analytics. I'm going to show you in details, guys, how to do this. So you're going to link your website to Google Analytics. With paid search, we are talking about search engine marketing. Google Ads is able to give you exactly the results. Whom were you able to reach? How many how many people have been able to reach? When they came to your website, what did they do, right? So you're able to see the behavior and the trends around customers that interact with your business. So I saw Drishti Prisha talk about Facebook analytics, right? So Facebook page insights. So with the Facebook page insight or the Facebook analytics, you are able to find out what people are engaging with on your Facebook page and how they are finding you. So you will know where they came from. Remember, we talked about the RIN rule: reach, engage, activate, and nurture. Those are the 4 questions you need to ask yourself every time you look at your data. How did these people reach you? Where did they come from? Where did they discover your content? Right? Once they are on your page, which content did they engage with? Right? Is it that they love video content, photo content? How is it that they get you? And then number 4 is activate. Now that you have understood the kind of content that they engage with, how can you serve them that content, whether it is video, whether it is images? How do you serve them that content? But also, they make sure that the content helps you to achieve your goal, whether it is increasing sales, whether it is getting more people to follow you, whether it's increased brand awareness. And then nurture. It is not enough for a customer to buy from you. Once a customer has bought from you, that's a VIP person that you need to follow and nurture that relationship. So when you're asking yourself, those are the 4 important questions. How do you reach them? How do they engage with you? How do you activate them when they're on your page? And how do you nurture that relationship so that they even become ambassadors for your brand? So the good thing with Facebook page insights, it provides this information in an infograph, in a line graph. So you're able to see when your engagement is peaking, when it's going down, and you're able to act on it accordingly. And then there is Google Search Console. So with Google Search Console, you are able to find out extremely invaluable information about your website and its visitors from Google's organic search results. So for example, remember we said with Google, with search engines, you can either do search engine marketing or you can do search engine optimization. So when you do search engine optimization, your best tool for tracking is Google Search Console. So the Google Search Console is able to show you what times you appeared, and when you appeared, what words did those customers who are searching for the product or service, which words did they use in order for you to appear? And then accordingly, you're able to tweak your strategy, right? So Google Search Console is able to show you. And then there is Google My Business. I see Kenneth Kisaka says he uses Google My Business. And then Google My Business is another amazing tool. And Google My Business helps you to manage your online presence across Google Search and Google Maps. So it gives you a presence, a free presence. It gives you a free presence on Google Search and Google Maps. So every time somebody searches for your product or service, and you've been very great at optimizing, using keywords, using backlinks, then your profile is able to appear every time on Google Search and on Google Maps. The other one that is an amazing tool that you can use apart from Google My Business, it is Google Trends, right? So Google Trends helps you to identify the popularity of different search terms in Google, and also identify whether a trend is on the rise or a decline. Because I told you guys, every market is seasonal. The weather is not the same. The demand for different products is the same. It changes according to what is in season. Like for example, right now we are going to the Christmas festivities, right? Everybody is focusing on Christmas. So everybody is focusing on Christmas. So the question is, if you are selling products, if you are in the boutique business selling clothes and shoes, how do you make sure that you adopt the different demands, right? So when it comes February, it will be Easter. How do you make sure you adopt? When it comes some other day, it will be Independence Day. If when it comes to another time, it will be a different festival, maybe Diwali for the Indians, maybe Ramadan for the Muslims. So how do you make sure that you adopt the trends? And even clothes come in. Fashion is changing very rapidly. So how do you make sure that you cushion yourself and discover the trends that are going on? Google Trends is an amazing tool for any small, medium enterprise to embrace, especially when you are effecting your online strategy, because it helps you find relevant trending topics according to your industry or your category. So you don't have to wait for you to see what your competitors have stocked for you to know what is in demand, right? So you are able to quickly discover in real time. And then you can monitor competitors. What are they doing well? What are they not doing well? So that you discover your unique selling point. So maybe your competitors are slow to respond to the demands in the and the seasons in the market and the trends, right? And then remember what we talked about, very, very important when you're doing digital marketing. This is keywords helps you speak the same language with your customers, right? When your customers are looking for the best hotel in Nairobi, best hotel in Kampala with ample parking, with free Wi-Fi, with hot shower. So how do you make sure that you speak the same language as your customers? So when you incorporate keywords in the structure of your descriptions, in your posts, in your website, then you're able to speak this language of your customers. And remember, search engines are in the business of matchmaking, right? So when they're in the business of matchmaking, they want to bring to people who search for information the exact fit for whatever they are looking for. So find topics. You're also able to discover topics by region. The other amazing tool, especially if you have a website or a blog post, is Google Analytics. Google Analytics helps you understand what customers do on your website. When they come to your website, what do they do, right? Do they just come in and go? Do they come and click on the homepage and leave? Do they come, if you have an e-commerce platform, do they come and click on your shop or on your product list, but they don't buy? So Google Analytics helps you get an insight into that. So let me look at some questions. Yeah, Kenneth Kisaka, I totally agree. Google My Business tells how people look, small businesses especially. Stevenson Kehencha says, how often should I post online? So Kehencha, this one also again depends on the process of analytics, right? This one again, it is not about posting every other day. It's about being very targeted and very, very intentional about what you put out there, right? So for example, if you are marketing to a younger population, like let's say Generation Y and Z, who are constantly online and are seeing posting every other day, you want to make sure that you keep very engaged. So these are people who will not mind posting every other day. But if you are targeting a more niche market, right, don't come online very often, it is very enough that you target highly so that all of them can see it. So posting in a week is very fine, because remember also there is the aspect of you being overwhelmed. But if you have somebody who can help you to keep your pages very active, then posting every day is very great for your business. But remember, because of the cost implications, if you're doing organic, free posting on like social media, post every day. If you are boosting, right, be very intentional, investigate what customers want to see. And then when you're boosting once a week is very okay, right? But posting three times in a week is also very fine. If you're boosting once a week will work. Stevenson Kenja says, should I mix video and pics at what ratio? Okay, Steven. So Steven, this one also depends on the process of analytics. And that's why I always tell people, when you're starting with your digital marketing strategy, put out all the content. Post video, post pictures, post memes, post GIFs. From the data and insights, you'll be able to understand which of content your target customers or your target audience are engaging more with. So you'll find maybe video is doing so well, you'll find maybe pictures are doing so well, and then you're able to understand that, okay, this is what your customers really want to see. Thank you. Okay. So let's continue, guys. So let's look at how to understand and analyze your data. Now we have seen the tools. right? You can use Google Trends, you can use Google Search Console, you can use Google My Business, you can use your social media insights page, especially on Twitter and Facebook, that are very robust and very robust and very targeted. So Jackie Momanyi says, who else noticed the changes in IG privacy policy affecting how you can remarket? So Jackie, with Instagram, their policies are still being worked on. Instagram, especially around marketing, the policies are not yet very concrete and established like on Twitter and Facebook. So they are changing very rapidly. So you may just have to, keep up for the time being. And even if you notice in the content, you have not dwelled so much on the Instagram one because it's still under development. Facebook recently acquired Instagram, and they're still working on that marketing policy on Instagram. So let's look at how to understand and analyze your data. So let's look, for example, at one tool for especially poor websites. And remember, we said when you put your business on Google My Business, it comes with a free website. That is one of the benefits of Google My Business. It comes with free search listing, so that every time people search, they get you. It comes with free Google Map listing. It makes it easy for you to direct people to your business, and then it comes with a free website. So even with that, your website, on the Google on the Google My Business listing, you can put it under Google Analytics dashboard, because Google Analytics dashboard usually works so well with websites and blog posts. So let's look at Google Analytics. So how do you get yourself on Google Analytics? So somebody asked, how do you get on Google Trends? Google Trends is a free tool, right? Google Trends is a free tool. So it is just simple. Go in and just search for Google Trends. Just go on Google and search Google Trends. Then you'll see it come up, and then you'll be able to go in and use it. The one that you have to sign up is Google Analytics account. So the Google Analytics account, if you are on Google My Business and you have that free website, you can put it on Google Analytics. So go to analytics.google.com. John is going to share this link with you. Go to analytics.google.com, then choose a name for your account. Okay, so this is very important, especially when you have a website or you have your Google My Business listing. So go to analytics.google.com, choose a name for your account. It is very important that you choose a name for your account. It's very important that you choose a name for your account, especially if you have multiple businesses or categories, and then choose the right industry or category. So when you're on Google Analytics, you need to also find and include a tracking code. The tracking code is what helps Google to put this information together for you. So where to find the tracking code? To track your site's performance, you need to add the correct tracking code to your page. So the tracking code is a snippet of a JavaScript or any other programming language that is put on your website, so that when people search, so you can imagine how many people search on Google every other day, millions and millions of searches, right? So when people search and your business keeps on popping up, then we'll know, because they don't know you, they will know from a bit of tracking code, they will know that it's your business, and then they'll put the information together for you. So if probably you're wondering where to find your tracking code, if your website was created for you by your web developer, you can ask them to put the tracking code for you. But other website builders like GoDaddy, like Wix.com, usually have a place, a simple field where you can add the tracking ID for your website, and you can even customize it better. So for Google Analytics to work in terms of your website, your blog post, you need to have a tracking ID so that the information can be put together for you. And the kind of report that Google Analytics collects for you is in 4 main areas. So you'll be able to Google Analytics will be able to inform you your audience. Who are they? Who are these people who are visiting your website or your blog? Acquisition. So once they come from you, once they come to your page, and that's the one thing you should think about every time when you're doing your digital marketing. When customers come to your page, it means they have come from somewhere. So you need to work backwards and ask yourself, okay, you are getting a lot of good traffic. Where are they coming from? Right? So Google Analytics will be able to show you how they find you. And then also Google Analytics will show you their behavior. Once they are on your website or on your blog post, what are they doing? Right? How are they engaging with your content? And then finally, it's able to show you around conversion. What are they worth to me, right? Are these customers are worth of you following up? And most of you have seen this strategy with Jumia, right? So Jumia gets the same exact information on you, right? They get the information on who you are. They get the information of how you came to the page. They get information on the behavior, what exactly you do. And that's when you find that when you go on Jumia and you click, like, let's say on a phone, when you close Jumia and you go out, Jumia already has algorithms that tell them that what you are worth to them. So if you have spent a lot of time reading description, you go to a phone, you read the description of the phone, they know that you have the intention to buy. And now that's when they determine their worth to you, and they keep on following you across everywhere. You go to social media, they are there. They show you the same item you clicked on. So this is the process that even Jumia uses. And then the data on Google Analytics is usually in 2 dimensions. There is the dimension and the matrix. The dimension covers the what, and the matrix usually covers the numbers. So the dimension can be number 1, organic search. How many times have you appeared on organic search? Right? Organic search is when somebody searches for best hotel in Nairobi or Kampala and you appear. And then it shows you direct searches. How many people searched for you using your name, your exact name? And those are the people that you need to pay attention to, because it means they know the brand. They already recognize the brand, right? Then it show you affiliates. Maybe if you are working with influencers or other sites to link back to your site, you're able to discover all that. And always remember, using RIN to ask the right question. The RIN rule is very important, right? So once you know how to ask the right questions, then you need to know what to do with that information. The RIN rule helps you discover how you reach your customers, helps you discover how you engage with them, helps you discover how to activate and how to nurture, right? So reach, and I always tell people, when somebody comes to your Facebook page and they like it, or they have come and they have viewed your ad, it means they have seen you from somewhere. So you need to find out, where is it that they saw you, or where is it that they found you, right? So you must discover where they came from, and it's very important. And then you need to understand, how do you engage them, right? What is the right content to share with them in order to ensure they keep on coming back? Activate. Now, in that content, how do you make sure you call them to action? Like Facebook allows you to tell them, buy now, call now, order now. My business allows you to also do the same. They can reserve, they can book. So make sure that you have those call to action buttons. And then nurture, right? Make sure you turn them into customers who keep on coming back to buy from you. And then there's Google Trends. I think I've talked about Google Trends. So Google Trends is simple. It's an easy tool. It's online. It's free. And Google Trends helps you to understand seasonal product demand. Throughout the year, your business will experience peaks and dips. And this is very, very obvious for any. So throughout the year, your business will experience peaks and dips that will impact your revenue. But when you discover the trends, seasonal trends allow your business to stay relevant and competitive. So Google Trends helps you to discover. You can get instant trends, real-time trends, daily trends. So, and you're able to create content about those trends, right? Like now it's Christmas. You need to discover what are people buying, right? So that you're not left out. So the other thing and the important one is keywords. Google Trends shows what searches and keywords are trending, right? So for example, if you're selling women blouses, it's not enough to just say women blouses. Maybe you'll find that black women blouses in plus size are the ones that are trending. And I saw Drish Tiprisha says he sells bikes. So you want to find out which kind of bikes are trending at the moment, right? How then do you change your strategy to adopt accordingly? So optimize your post according to trending keywords. It is not just about posting for the sake of posting. Every word in your post will reflect something and will have a meaning, because keywords help you speak the language of your customers and give them exactly what they want, so that you appear every time they search for you, right? Okay, so I don't know if we have any questions to this point. Are there any questions? Are there any questions to this point? Have we understood something? Yeah? Have we understood something? So let me look at some questions that are coming in. I see what's right budget to boost onto free that you want to get. If you want to reach 5 million people, the budget is the budget that you have. Facebook will always tell you and show you the kind of results that you are going to. So the budget is not usually set in stone, right? It is you who determines the budget. So you can just set your budget, and I think the lowest is usually maybe I think 10 to 500 bob Kenyan money, right? Um, I was away but now back. So Mustafa says, must I have a website to use the Google Analytics? Unfortunately, you must have a website or a blog post to use Google Analytics. Jackson, can I use this Google Analytics for Facebook page? No, but Jackson Kinuthia, Facebook has a robust insights page, right? Facebook has an inbuilt analytics, and you should just, when you go to your profile on your Facebook page, just look for insights. There's somewhere written insights and analytics. There you're able to discover a lot of things about your business. Okay. Are there any more questions? Let me see. Can we use the analytics for Google My Business too? Yes, Kenneth Kisaka. You can use analytics for Google My Business. So Google My Business comes with a free website. That website on your Google My Business listing, you can put it on Google Analytics and get all this information posted for you. But the good thing about Google My Business is that Google My Business um, also has a robust insights, right? So Kenneth Kisaka, I remember you said that you have users, how people search for you, how many people click, how many have asked for direction, how many have requested for calls, and that kind of information. Do we have any more questions, guys? Are there any questions? Okay. So if we don't have any questions at this point, let's look at the next steps. I always say this has just been a 1 hour session. And remember, in an hour session, we cannot effect a skills change, but we can effect a mindset change. So most of you now are aware how you can get data and insights to help your business grow, right? So go to our portal, learndigital.withgoogle.com, in order to build your skill further and understand how to create a Google Analytics account, to understand how to use Google Trends, to understand how to use and then also give us feedback. What other topics do you think we should cover as we go forward? What other topics do you think we should cover as we go forward? And then follow us on our social media pages, guys. Follow us on our social media. We are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter. So make sure to follow us and be in the loop to know, any other future engagements that we'll have. So thank you so much, guys. Remember, data is very important. In your business, you need to make what we call data-driven decisions, evidence-based, right? So don't just go posting for the sake of posting. Post with an end goal in mind. Post with data behind you. You are posting, but in your post, you are including if you are posting, you're including keywords so that you can be discovered, right? Post knowing what kind of content will make your customers to engage with you better. So thank you so much, guys. Anita Kimani, unfortunately, this is the last session for the year. We are going to come back in 4th or 5th January. And just make sure you keep in touch with us on our social media pages. We are on Facebook, you're on Instagram. We are going to be communicating the next day. So thank you, guys. Keep on keeping safe. I know it is Christmas time, but make sure that you are taking care of yourself. The mask goes over your nose. Sanitize your hands. Keep staying positive and testing negative. Happy holidays, Merry Christmas, and see you next year. Bye, guys.